meet you.
Yeah, the same, the same. Thank you so much for joining this call.
Yeah, thanks. I know we've met on LinkedIn, but yeah, pleased to meet you. And I think you have a lot of great insights. So wanted to connect.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Rihanna, first of all, congrats on your own success. I have already seen your own LinkedIn, the conferences that you have already been at, and the events. You are rocking and rolling, and you making the most of your own time. Congrats on that.
Thank you so much. That's really meaningful. Coming from yourself and just seeing that and recognizing that. Yeah, it's been a lot of time. Yes.
I see that. I see that you have already your own passion. You have already your own vision that you want actually to make it to the reality.
Yeah, definitely. Been working on Collida Capital since 2022, and yeah, every year, every month, there's something new going on, and neurotechnology is really there's a lot of activity right now with that. So I mean, it's been a good signals.
Great, great. How much have you raised for capital during this year?
Yeah, well, so last year, so after a couple of years kind of meeting with LPs and kind of getting myself out there and presenting a fund one, I actually decided to kind of switch strategies to deploying capital through SPVs with by activating this network that I already had. Their investing power is more on the angel or individual level size. So between like 25 to 100K checks per deal. And I just really wanted to be sure that I was getting to more of a line of sight that it's possible to raise a critical amount of funding for an actual fund to make it sustainable for myself. And that actually has proven to be actually really good because it's like, not only am I able to get in front of LPs and get to know them in a more personal way, but it allows them to start getting introduced and educated in neurotech in a more applied way. So there is some strategy there and some strategy informing that decision on which type of financial product I wanted to offer at the time based on like what I was observing in the markets and different trends. And it helped me to stay agile. But yeah, so far I've only really deployed $1.5 to $2 million. We had an exit in that cohort. And so I've got 3 pretty high profile deals, 2 Neuralink competitors and Anthropic. And then I have a huge pipeline of seed and Series A deals across all of neuroscience related and tech related areas. And so, yeah, I think what I'd like to do is, try to find some solutions for getting funded. Most importantly is so that I can pay myself. It's a working capital thing, to be able to scale this, not just myself full time, but other people, other staff, other people to work with me. And yeah, I think I'm in this phase in Q2 of talking to other people who really understand capital markets and investor sentiment right now to kind of give me any feedback or tips on like how I should be thinking about approaching the market. I'm not actively raising for a fund one right now, but I do have a deck and materials and things like that. It's just like right now, I think people will really want to see an investment track record and really, it's actually really good for me to show my ideal access because that's actually a huge edge. Of course, if you just say that in a deck, people are like, oh, well, what does that mean? And so I definitely think I've gone above and beyond demonstrating that. And so these new 5 investments are now a solid proof of concept. So I'm ready to go. I'm just needing to find the right audience. And my networks are not as like, I don't know as many LPs as maybe I should. My networks are very, very strong in neurotechnology, and that's why I think we would win. But for the most part, the people I've been talking to are, individuals or family offices, and some fund of funds, but they're not really, they're all raising their own funds right now. So yeah, curious to better understand like your world and where you think this, there might be any room for growth or improvement on what I'm doing.
Got it. Got it. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you so much. Currently, you are managing 1.5 to 2 milli, and that's in the management. Is that correct?
Yeah, that has already been deployed. So I find a target company and then I raise the money and then I send it through.
Okay. So
there's not much. There's no pool, and then there's not a lot. There's no management fees right now.
Okay.
It's taking, yeah.
Got it. And okay, so since you have already started with your own fund, how much have you raised and closed, and you have already deployed? Then since you have already started.
Yeah. So so that's the thing. So I actually have been a member of several, U.S. Emerging manager groups. So, kind of the who's who of like new managers. I'm in those programs, and so I'm already pretty much set up with like fund administration, banking relationships, like all the third party outsourcing things. We're pretty much ready to go. It's just really needing a confirmation of a line of sight to, if I'm raising a $25 to $30 million fund one, I really wanted to get to like between a $5 to $10 million first close. And I did actually have a very interested anchor. They are a brain health fund of funds. There's also a deep tech fund of funds. And what's really interesting is they want to be, originally when we met, they're like, oh, I want to be an LP in Collided Capital. Can we, put this on our deck? And in fact, one of them already has Collided Capital in their deck as a potential investment. But basically they're both, number one, they're both still raising, $50 to $100 million funds. And they have not reached a first close yet. And then secondly, they're like, well, what if these are two different funds. They're like, well, we actually really like you so much that, what if, we're going to keep it open. Like we could either invest in your fund as an LP, or maybe you could join us as a partner in our bigger fund, which is going to do fund of funds and direct investments. And you could have some sort of role within our funds. So each of those funds is like the LPs are trying to raise their own fund and use me as a team member. And then
Exactly.
they also are using me on the deck as a potential fund investment. So I feel, and meanwhile, I'm not getting anything. So it's like,
pretty clear.
how do I navigate this so that things come out in my favor, whatever that ends up being. Like,
okay.
At this point, I have such a strong personal brand. I think I have a lot of credibility here. A lot of people know that. So it's like, hey, the people who know me, like, know I've been raising a fund. It's like, come, like, let's put something on the table then if you were going to invest in the fund in me.
Okay.
But now they're kind of like, well, what if you become a partner at my fund once I reach a first close? And it's still basically like either.
I think they're saying like that because they see that you have already your own personal brand. You have already worked on what you have already worked on. You have few connections here and there, and they want actually to take advantage of that. That's why they want to have you in their own team members, so that you can present their own fund in better way. And in this case, they will have a better brand, better positioning, and they will get better interest. But the main bottom line right here is, I can tell you, you will do what you are passionate about. If you are passionate about that, so do it, even if it will be not as big as you want. If you will start your own fund, or if you will go with your own fund, but if you see that there is more opportunities and more potential with their own ways, then you can absolutely choose the second one, correct? But if you see that, all right, I am passionate for my own thing and I want actually to continue doing it, and now I can get better return from it because I have already done X and Y, and I have already built the fundamentals, and right now I just want to scale up my own relationship that I have already built and established it for the last couple of years, then that's completely different, and that is absolutely your own thing. But the decision, it has to be done from your own side, and you need actually to say, all right, that's what I want, and that's what I don't want.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, those are just that's what's happening right now. It's like, if I have personal thinking to do, which is like, hey, if I really decided like, yes, I want to run my own fund, I could probably do that because I'm already doing it. I'm already basically doing it. Just the difference is whether there's a giant pool of capital or not, so it's like, but I'm doing the work anyways. And so whether that's through my own vehicle or a different vehicle that is well capitalized, like that, where I can make a salary off of, the sufficient management fees, like that's fine, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think kind of my question to you is like, yeah, do you help funds fundraise? Is that kind of your service, your primary service?